Okay, so we are looking at week 3 of this new unit around data, what to do with it, metrics, and ask some questions as part of the reflection. Has it changed my thoughts? Have my thoughts on data been changed? Well, yes, they have. In essence, um, they have indeed. um, we've been looking at subjective versus objective data, of which I knew a little bit about, but this has definitely deepened my sort of understanding. We've been looking at the validity and reliability of data, so coming to understand these concepts in better detail is going to arm me in terms of using data effectively within my own organisation. So it's definitely changed my thought process in terms of gathering data to support business cases and to support effective change. Recognizing when data is being collected for the sake of it and trying to make it a bit smarter, a bit more objective in places, and the use of primary data, collected in a meaningful way, which will support what we're doing. So, how can I change my professional practice going forwards? Well, I can be a lot smarter in terms of what I do with the data. Okay, I think this is okay. Um, yeah, I can be a lot smarter in terms of what we do with the data. So, in essence, this is kind of annoying. I can't cancel out being put in check, which is fine. I'm going to go here, which allows this if we get faced with this, which would be a little bit nasty. Yeah, so we're not worried about that. We're not worried about that. So yeah, in essence, it will change things going forwards. We can be, say, a lot smarter about things. Um, we need to do this. And what am I going to read up on during Reflect and Consolidate Week? Certainly, I want to seek out some videos or some case studies, some examples of data with specific application to the public sector, because we face different challenges, and a lot of metrics and KPIs are going to revolve commercially around the private sector. So I need to look at how is value demonstrated in terms of learning programs in my context of public sector. It's going to be fairly tricky. How do we punish him here? How do we punish him, Errol? Here. Not so straightforward. We'll start with this, just develop a little bit. So yeah, I want to seek that out. Towards maturity, some of the reports, I need to look a little bit deeper into those, because there's a really, really, really helpful stuff contained within that. Yeah, so this week, probably my highlight was probably the top tips exercise that we conducted. Um, in terms of providing my top tips, and I was pleased to be able to try and look at the wider picture and look at not just happy sheets and immediately accessible data, objective data, but how do we use it going forward? How do we measure, and how do we define metrics in line with key performance indicators for my area of interest. So personal safety training, the trainers. I'd like to be able to clearly define metrics for success criteria, if you like, for their performance reviews, and help to formulate some smarter action. Smarter goals for them, for this new system, this cloud-based system that we have. And really, a good set of data is going to help me do that. So that's getting me to formulate and think about the next sort of project. I can see where this week's learning fits into the CIPD profession map on multiple levels. So we're talking about. Oh, hang on. I can get a good punishment here. Look. I can take his queen. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. That will probably be lights out. I think most people, when they lose their queen, they give up. Although I am obviously very behind on time, so my opponent should carry on. Really, there we go. That's good to see. And now it's just going to be a case of sacrificing down as much as possible. Yeah, so the CIPD profession map, it sits into the behaviours, insights, focus, passion for learning, commercial drive. But in essence, I mean, really, it could fit into all of the profession map. You know, provided how you use the data, what kind of data is it that you're looking at. But it fits into the knowledge, the evidence-based practice, into change, into business acumen and technology and people. And I can see how this week's learning has obviously correlated strongly with the apprenticeship standards. So firstly, with knowledge, you've got technical expertise, consultancy tools and techniques, business understanding, how to measure the impact of learning, and how business learning and HR KPIs and metrics build a clear picture of how the business is performing. And then with management of information technology, we're talking about the collection of information and data, qualitative and quantitative, to analyse learning needs, implement delivery effectively, and measure outcomes and impact. So there's lots of stuff going on here. So what do we need to do? I can take that, that's free. I've got 4.5 minutes, that's fine. So with skills, it comes under L&D consultancy, working as an L&D consultation business partner, a consultant or business partner. We're looking at developing a learning culture, so influence of management at all levels to collaborate and take responsibility for learning initiatives, because we can use the data intelligently. There we go, let's take this next. So yeah, there's a lot of positives, a lot of things that we can do, a lot of things that we've taken away from this week. I think this is okay. Just this would fork this, but this is covered by this. It's fine. It's covered a number of times. And under behaviours, we've got collaborative partner, enabling different departments to work together effectively. We're looking at being a commercial thinker, so focus on impacts and outcomes. So yeah, really strong correlation with the apprenticeship standards, and yeah, can see how I can take away a lot of the learning bits from this week. 1, 2 attackers, and I have 1, 2 defenders. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, so lots to be taken away from this week, and I need to start thinking about the next assignment and what we're going to do about it. And then we'll just finish this game of chess. It shouldn't take too long. Just to wrap up the game here, he's a little bit stuck. He really needs to get this this rook out, because he presumably wants to double it up. I think if we, yeah, I mean, if we open up this rank, then he'll have a little bit of a hard time. And if we can get the king off this square, if we can get him here, then we can do some nice things. Yes. So here, then here to back this up possibly, then here. I think that's okay. Ooh, if he's clever, he'll do this actually, which means we're gonna lose our queen. There we go. What can we do here? I think we could do this. I think this is okay. And we're looking at this. We could always come back and take this pawn. I think we're okay. So if I go here, he might take the rook, but then he's going to succumb to checkmate. So I think we're going to try that. Well, in fact, we don't need to do it straight away. We can just take that pawn. Ooh, sneaky. So we can try this. So if he takes, we take. Ah, not so good. Here we go. What do we do here? I think this is fine. It just cuts him off. He can't touch the pawns here, and at some point we'll have a we will have a doubled sort of pawn structure. We can go here. We can take this. That's fine. You can come in here now. Well, you could have done. I think we're okay. He might just run the clock out here, which is something that people will tend to do if they sort of know that they're going to lose the game. No, okay, it's just maybe here would be logical. Now he can take here, but not if we do. Just think about this. If we do this, we can push up, but then he can come in here and threaten both. If we come here, thing is, this is supported by the knight is supported by the pawn. So all you really need to do is just push up here, and then we've got a path to go and queen. And that's going to be the easiest way of doing it, really. I could be reflecting more. I could certainly be reflecting more. There we go. Okay. I shall stop the recording.